guys, and welcome to EV News by Tesla Red. This is episode 23, and it's the 8th of December 2024. Please give a shout out if you're watching. Let us know who's here. Jump in the chat. We have a pretty big announcement for next week. I'll come up with that shortly. A few more people join. Next week will probably be our last for the year at this stage, and I'll probably resume. I think it's around the 5th of Jan. Please drop a hello in the chat. Hey, Electric Kev, good to see you. How's everything going in Adelaide? All right, let's get this screen share going. As always, the StreamYard link is posted in the chat. It's the pinned comment there. So if you would like to jump on and have a chat, you don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be. You use voice, camera, or just jump into the comments. But if you want to use voice or camera, use that link and we can add you in. All right, let's get into this. Make sure I'm actually sharing this time. Yep, great. Hey, Tom, how you going? Good to see you. We had a bit of a discussion last week about the used EV market and what potential buyers there were out there and that kind of thing. And I mentioned Amazing EV, who's run by a guy named Roscoe. He has also got a YouTube channel as well as running this EV marketplace. Good news is it looks like Roscoe will be joining us next week for our final episode of the year. So it'd be a great opportunity. Definitely spread the word. If you've got anyone you know who's interested in a second-hand EV or even just interested in knowing about how the market's trending and all that sort of stuff, Roscoe is a fantastic resource for that. So hopefully we'll have him on next week, and it would be a great opportunity. So definitely keep that, get the word out there, and hopefully make it a big one. Yeah, Kev, it's been awesome. I just did another $500 payout from Amber, and I've already got another $500 sitting there just from the last month. And I noticed tonight it looks like it's going negative now. So the car will be charging. It's down to about 20%. So you'll be charging on negative electricity, negative prices, which is fantastic. All right, so 2024 holiday update. Seem to see a big surge of installs today. That is 2024.44.25 from memory. I just don't have it in front of me right at the moment. Yeah, 2024.44.25.2 is the point release that's currently going out. Haven't seen much of it go to Australia yet, but go through some of the main features I picked up on. First one being the Tesla app for the Apple Watch. So you can now use the watch as a phone key and all your app functions from a watch. Hopefully we'll get some love for us Androids at some point. I know we've been missing out on a few of these Apple specific releases, including the Auto Frunk and Trunk, and now this one here. So definitely hope we see some of these come out to Android soon. So this particular version of the app, the Apple app, is already out there, but it won't work until you get this latest version of the software, 2024.44.25. So just be aware of that. If you have received it, it won't work currently. The other really handy one is be able to save dash cam clips and Sentry clips to the phone directly. So you can access them from your phone and save them to your phone memory without having to go into the car and pull out the USB drive and mess around. the auto shift between drive and reverse on the Model 3 Highland. So this is something that has been sort of talked about for a little while now. So doing a 3-point turn and that kind of stuff, it will now, you'll have the option of having it auto shift. So I haven't seen how that works yet. I'm keen to see how that looks and how well it works. But saves all that effort of having to go to the screen and swiping up and down. Sirius XM, not too familiar with that. Ability to set the required arrival percentage at a destination. So now, if you're doing a search on a route, it'll give you the estimated time for the detours. So adds 4 minutes, etc., etc. So you can actually look at how much time you're going to add if you go to one of those detours, if you're looking at a charger or to get something to eat or whatever you happen to be looking for. You'll get that along your route. Next one is the precipitation map along your route. So you'll be able to see, if you're going into rain or if you're in the middle of a massive rain shower, how far to get out of it, that kind of stuff. Just a nice little handy little feature. This one's been one that people have looked for quite a while, the rear cross traffic alerts. So now it will give you that that blind spot type warning when you've got rear cross traffic when you're in reverse. So a good little thing, and it apparently makes a beeping noise as well. So gives you a visual and audio alert. So let us know which those are the main ones I saw. There's a bunch of other minor improvements and probably a number of improvements that aren't documented yet. So the big one for Australia is we're still rumoured to be getting the actual Smart Summon and the Vision Park Assist as part of the 44 branch. Haven't seen any of them deployed to Australia as yet. I know Europe and Asia have started receiving them, but the countries that have received them so far are the countries that are much more limited in range for the actual Smart Summon. So hopefully that's a good sign that for us that we'll get a decent version of it. And that's why we haven't received it yet. Just catching up on the comments here. Yeah, no, I've had some pretty massive ones. I think that's probably higher than my record. I think it's 80 or 90 cents per kilowatt hour. But anytime you're getting paid a charge and you run around turning the ovens on, put the air conditioning on full blast, just to soak up that excess electricity and get paid to do it, it's a good day. Thanks, Kev. Yeah, always appreciate it if we can get those likes coming in. Subscribe if you haven't already. It definitely helps the channel and helps get messages out there. Yep, I'm guessing that's in relation to the Smart Summon and Auto Park, definitely. I'm very keen to see that and be able to test it out. There'll definitely be some videos coming once that happens. All right. So we've had version 13 FSD released. Some very good results. I spoke about it very briefly. I think it was just released the night of the last week's episode. So I've been away most of this week, unfortunately, so I haven't had time to get too much material, but I've managed to put a couple of clips together of some of the highlights of the early testing of version 13 FSD. Looking really good. So this is from Dirty Tesla. His wife has been a lot less, I guess, comfortable with FSD than he has as a tester. She tends to intervene a lot more, but she's had her first intervention-free drives using version 13. And here's a highlight.
Okay. Can say I did not expect that. It's a great purchase spot too. Like, speechless. It backed in. It's going to put it in park. Holy crap. All right, I didn't expect that. Okay, well, it took us to our destination and then beautifully back into a parking spot in 1 week. That was insane.
So yeah, this case here, they've tested version 13. They've gone from a parking spot all the way to a GameStop was their destination, which you can see right in front of them there. And it's taken them to the destination, popped it into reverse, done a nice reverse park, right in a prime spot, and that's fantastic to see. Hey, Hal, good to see you here. Okay, I wasn't sure on that one. I didn't. Yeah, it must be, I guess. It's an older Model 3, yeah. But definitely check out Dirty Tesla. Has some great videos, and there's plenty of version 13 material there. Move on to another one. This is from AI Driver. Here he's navigating to a supercharger. So far, all the comments have been fantastic. I haven't seen anyone have to make a safety critical disengagement yet from the videos I've seen, at least. This one isn't quite as fluid. It seems to, and I've seen this in a few of them, where it stops. It's got that message up there. Then it decides to keep going and goes ahead and parks. I've seen some comments to do with the mode it's in. It seems to get stuck in certain modes and take a bit longer sometimes to change out of it. But again, it does a perfect reverse park and actually parks far enough back so that the charging cable can go straight in. So that's great to see. So comment there from Hal. Yeah, so there's a bunch of more features that still haven't been implemented as yet. I think version 13 will be the worldwide release. I don't think version 14 is going to come anytime soon. I don't see any. There's obviously a lot of headroom in version 13. And the plan so far, at least, as in the indications we've got from the AI team, is that early next year we should start seeing China and Europe, and then hopefully some right-hand drive markets. And so far they've been pretty good with their estimates. And noting those estimates are coming from the AI team are usually more conservative than, especially some of the early days Elon ones, where look, you don't know what you don't know when it's a whole new technology that no one's mastered before. So that's AI Driver. Again, recommend checking out his channel. Got some great testing of FSD and some good version 13 material there. Okay, the last one of this series is good old Chuck Cook and his famous unprotected left. So in this video, we've got the drone shot, got the car video and the telemetry from the main screen. So it's a great way to see what's going on. For those unaware, this is a very high-speed road. He's going to be pulling out of this street here and having to do an unprotected left-hand turn across the high-speed traffic. It's a well-known testing ground. A lot of the AI testers use it now, so the actual fleet testers from Tesla. It's been mentioned by Elon in earnings calls, so it's a pretty famous setup and a difficult situation for the FSC to deal with. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and look at sort of the first testing of version 13 on this particular area.
Here we go again. There's our initial stop. And our slow creep. And okay, we're gonna have to wait on this one. So I hit some traffic decent on this one. And this morning's traffic I'm gonna call moderate, definitely not heavy. Oh, there's a little gap here. It's gonna go, isn't it? Look at that. I didn't think that gap was there just based off the long. Okay, I gotta wait though. So this one, he's in the closest lane. I'm waiting, and roll. Gosh, that was really, really good. I mean, it was one of those scenarios where you look in the distance, it looks like it's solid, but as the cars approach, you see a small gap. The Model Y Ego jumped into that gap, didn't jump, it slowly crossed, it went into the median, but there was a car in the most close lane, so it had to wait, and it pre-rolled even just a little bit after that vehicle passed to accelerate in the lane. Nice job, Tesla. That was a really good one.
Yeah, so those who aren't familiar with Chuck Cook, he's an ex-Navy pilot, current airline pilot, so has some very good testing methodologies. He's run version 13. I've seen videos where he's run it through with nighttime, very early morning, all this with this same setup, and it's been perfect every time. So it's really impressive to see they've solved that particular pain point. Definitely also recommend checking out his channel as well. Like I said, he does some really good testing. Has some really good methodologies, and in the combination of the drone footage, just makes it very interesting to see exactly what's happening in these problem areas. All right, this last one's a bit of a funny one. So this is Omar from Hallmark's catalog. He's done a setup with Tesla and Waymo, where they've done the exact same drive, same start point, same end point. Both arrived with 0 interventions, but the Tesla had fewer awkward moments. But the Tesla took 15 minutes and 40 seconds, whereas the Waymo took 43 minutes. Now, it's a bit of a setup because he's taken to a destination which is quicker via a freeway. So obviously the Waymos aren't capable of going on freeways currently. So look, there is a bit of a setup here. It does highlight though that that's a major limitation with Waymo. I mean, in a major big city, that a lot of trips are going to be, a lot faster with some freeway driving. So, while Waymo certainly has the runs on the board as far as having an active service without drivers, which Tesla hasn't chosen to go in that route, it does highlight the very severe limitations with Waymo as far as where it can drive, the heavy requirements on mapping and all that stuff, where Tesla can go anywhere at all with no issues. So we'll go ahead and have a quick look at this one. Waymo seems much more hesitant there. Obviously, when you're limited to very specific streets that have been mapped and that kind of stuff, it really limits the, traffic you can avoid. All the different options as far as getting there faster. But still, it's a fantastic product. The Waymo, it's great to see it, breaking down those barriers for autonomous driving. I don't hate on them at all. It's just that the practicality of it and the scalability of it is going to be the biggest issue for them. Whole LiDAR setup is just not a scalable way to do this sort of stuff. So the Tesla's now on the freeway, whereas the Waymo's stuck in city traffic trying to navigate across. Let us know your thoughts. So what do you think? Is it a fair assessment? Obviously, there's, you could say it's unfair to the Waymo that they're picking these two destinations, but like I say, it's quite common that a trip across town is going to require some sort of city driving, some sort of freeway driving, and just highlights the fact that the Tesla can drive anywhere on autonomous mode, even though it is still supervised currently. The Waymo is much more limited. Have seen a couple of accidents recently with Waymos that didn't look too good. Driving into a vehicle that had already been involved in an accident, and another one where it was driving down the wrong way on a major road in San Francisco. So I'm not sure how they manage, with all the mapping and stuff that's involved. It should be able to avoid those sorts of things, but clearly still issues there, which we aren't seeing with FSD. I saw a couple of dry wipes there too. I'm sure everyone's familiar with those. Anyhow, look, that's another good video to watch. Again, I've highlighted Holmars. Omar does some really good stuff there, and he's got some great videos on the version 13 as well. So if you're interested, go ahead and check out his channel. And those are some very good channels to subscribe to. I'd recommend for any FSD version testing. All right. Yeah, that's a fair comment. The fact that Waymo do have the runs on the board with unsupervised, unsupervised in the car, at least, there still is a fair bit of supervision involved and a fair bit of interventions that don't get reported, because they apparently only report interventions that require physical takeover of the car, whereas directing it remotely and that kind of stuff is all kind of considered part of the course. But yeah, absolutely agree. Waymo, have got that approval for unsupervised driving in the vehicle. I do believe that Tesla could have got it if they really wanted to go down that route. I just don't think it made sense to them. But like I said, it's also great that it's out there. Breaking down those barriers and getting more public acceptance to automated driving will help accelerate that whole transition, hopefully, and start seeing some lives saved as a result. That's the big one, yeah, and that's where Tesla have a massive lead. Is that the data they're collecting, not only on cars on FSD, but all cars, where they've opted into sharing data. It's all helping that training. The massive compute cluster they've got, which is unmatched and about to get 10x apparently again. So that's a massive leap forward that it's going to take a lot to try and get even close to catching up to where they are now, let alone where they'll be by the time anyone gets close to where they are now. So, look, I think at some point Waymo's going to have to go away from the whole LiDAR setup that's just so expensive and has so many limitations. But it's not going to be easier for them to do that. They don't have that, driving the same streets over and over again doesn't give them that wider subset of data, doesn't give them that exposure to all these different situations that the Tesla, gets exposed to. We've seen, just recently this week, FSD version 13 videos in the snow, on dirt roads in the snow. We've got all these different environments that the Waymos aren't exposed to, and just the huge number of vehicles out there operating the software, where if you've got a vehicle that costs like $200,000 to get fitted out, you can't afford to get that many of them out there, and no one's going to buy them. So the advantage of having millions of vehicles out there collecting all this data, being exposed to all these situations, it's like getting 1,000 years of driving experience in a day, and then having compute to be able to process all that and make use of it to ensure the best decisions are made every time. I really think at some point it's going to come down to, I don't see a competitor. I see Tesla licensing this out to most of the vehicle companies. I don't see any competitor being able to get anywhere near close enough to have the same sort of capabilities. The amount of investment that would be required and the time required, by the time they got halfway, that the goalpost would have moved so far that it's just it's possible. But again, let's know if you disagree. I just can't see this lead being able to be put up with. Anyone else got any other bits of news or comments from the week? Like I said, I was away most of this week, so I didn't get too much chance to stay abreast with everything. So have you got anything else that you've heard about that you'd like to discuss? Just throw it in the chat there. I did see a incident on TV. I'm not sure what day it was now, but there was a Tesla vehicle in a car park in Sydney, I believe it was. It was out of control, we'll say. Hit a couple of vehicles and then launched itself off the top floor, I guess it was, and down at least a floor. Immediate media speculation was autopilot, which is quite ridiculous given it was in a car park. Pretty clear by the fact that it was bouncing off other vehicles, that it's most likely going to be a medical episode or something like that. The driver had to have had the foot down. That's the only way you can avoid the emergency stops and that kind of stuff, which unfortunately is a requirement for all vehicles. So any vehicle with automatic emergency braking, etc., will be overridden by having that accelerator down. So it looks like an unfortunate incident. I'm not sure. I know the passengers weren't injured in the accident, so hopefully they're okay. But look, again, media jumping to conclusions, but we may hear more about that. We've got a person joining us, Jacob Wilkinson. Hey, Jacob. Nope. Lost him. Yeah, so like you say there, Hal, the immediate blame was on autopilot, but it's impossible that it was autopilot, so we don't need to speculate on that one. But we've seen many sort of similar instances with medical episodes where someone jams their foot down and in all sorts of vehicles. I'm not sure quite the reasoning behind having the accelerator override safety features, but it is a requirement, and all vehicles will do that. I did see another amusing one just today. I think it was a Hyundai on fire. I think it was in Sydney as well. And again, the speculation was it's an EV, it's a Tesla, even though the Hyundai patch was very, very clearly visible. No problem, Jacob. You are welcome to join us if you would like, but no problem at all. There certainly have been a couple of Cybertruck incidents. Yeah, look, I think I know one of them was a bunch of college kids that were obviously very, what's the word, driving very erratically and high speeds and beyond their capabilities. Yeah, there's definitely been a few. There was one in Mexico as well, which was a pretty horrific accident. But fortunately, people survived where they probably wouldn't have in most other vehicles. That one was almost completely destroyed. But look, Teslas are a very powerful vehicle, and not just Cybertruck. We see many accidents that are just ridiculous. That there's no reason they should have had it. They have got a lot of safety features, but if you want to be an idiot and drive like a maniac, you're going to have a crash. It's just nothing can counteract human stupidity, unfortunately. Until we have mandatory self-driving and no steering wheels, then we might be able to eliminate a lot of these accidents. Hey, AI World, welcome to the channel. Yeah, definitely you get the same. Very keen to start testing it on Australian roads. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, I still think January is most likely. I've been saying that for quite a while, actually, but it's obviously always been a guess. I don't have any inside information, obviously, but that was kind of my best guess. Everything's pointing towards that, and especially the big push now to get clear models out, these discounts. That's definitely a big sign that something's coming. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see again the sales figures. I did see Hal mentioned now. I haven't seen much this week, like I said, so I'm not sure. I did see some American sales figures which look pretty good, but I'm still wondering what the end of the year is going to look like. I think we're going to get very close to last year's. Whether we beat it or not, it may be just slightly over or under, but it's still a good result given the way the auto industry has been this year. It took a little bit longer for the others to feel it just because of the way that Tesla sells direct to public. But I think Tesla have come out of it very well if they can get anywhere close to what they sold last year, and then next year with the new Model Y, I suspect there may be one or two other vehicles at least in the process of being released. Whether they get released next year or not, it's going to be interesting. Okay, interesting. I did see a dip on the November figures, I think it was. But as I said before, monthly figures don't really mean a lot. You generally get dips and peaks as shipments line up with. You'll get a whole bunch of shipments in 1 month, and then another month with virtually none. So it's just with the shipping schedules and that kind of thing. But full year is what we're looking at. That should be interesting. Yeah, look, the Optimus robots are looking very, very exciting. There's some massive use cases for those. Obviously, the fact that they've already been using them on small tasks in the factories now, as that scales. There's that demo I saw during the week, I think it was, with the new hand catching the tennis ball. That kind of dexterity is pretty amazing. So apparently there's already one in, I think I mentioned it last week, in a New Zealand showroom. So they may be shipping them out worldwide. We may see a couple in our showrooms. Interesting to see. But the market for those, once they have them, working, where they can, really pretty much do the work of a human, in factories and that kind of things, the potential for those is massive. We've seen Kim Kardashian has apparently been given one to play with for a little bit. Doing a lot of free advertising for Tesla, which is worth a lot. People pay a lot for her to endorse products, and she's apparently doing it for Tesla for free. So it's great to see. Look, it's going to be very interesting as that particular product matures. And that's the great thing about Tesla. It's not just a car company, and people treat it like a car company. There's the whole AI side of things, which I think is going to lead to licensing. I think even the vehicles themselves, I think what we'll see eventually is that these legacy automakers that can't produce vehicles profitably are going to be forced to look at the likes of BYD or Tesla and purchase the chassis, put their own body on it, and use all the software and battery technology from either BYD or Tesla as the two leaders obviously at the moment. So we got that. We got the power products as well. We've got the Giga Megapack factory in China being very close to finish. So there's a lot happening. It's a very positive time for Tesla, I think. So I think this next 12 months is going to be very interesting. Sensei, good to see you. Oh, thanks, mate. That's awesome. Do we see who got those? I'm not seeing who got those. Good point there. If you make sure you've got allow gifts on, you might receive one of those free memberships. Very generous, Sensei. You've always been a great supporter of the channel. It's really appreciated. Anyone hanging out for the new Model Y and planning on purchasing one, or also interested if how many people are looking at the used EV market and are keen to see this this discussion next week with Roscoe. Definitely, like I said, pass the word around, especially if you've got friends and family who are potentially looking at a second-hand EV, not just Tesla, any EV at all. Hopefully, we'll go through some of the stuff on his website, highlight some of those great deals, and talk about just the EV market in general, the second-hand market. Sorry, Jake, I'm not 100% certain. Give me 1 second. It might have said it in the post. Bear with me 1 second. I'll just have a quick look at it. See if I can dig it up. No, I can't see where it was, but if you check on X, it was posted on X. You might be able to do a search there and see if you can find it. Just having another look and seeing if I've got it here somewhere. Oh, here we go. Tesla Auckland South. There you go. So Auckland South. I'm not sure if it's moving around or if it's there permanently. But Tesla Australia and New Zealand made the original post. So if you check that out on X, there might be some more information in there. But if you're anywhere near there, if you do check it out, let us know. Let us know how you go there and how it is in the flesh. trying to catch up where we are here. Hey, Wayne. Yeah, the battery upgrade rumors, they keep coming and going. We got told repeatedly that the Model 3 Highland was going to have new batteries and brand new battery technology and all this sort of stuff. It never happened. It's possible. It's always possible. There's always advances in technology. So I won't rule it out, but I'd be very wary of any rumors that get floated around, especially when they get presented as facts. I find that quite annoying when certain YouTubers do that. But I don't know. I think the batteries they've got are working very well. If there's something else that's better and cheaper, they'll probably go for it. But I haven't seen anything that would give me any certainty of any major battery upgrades. We saw with the Highland, it was just a matter of doing a little bit of aerodynamics work, improving the aerodynamics and the efficiency, and that provided a pretty good boost to a range. We have seen them toy with the long-range rear-wheel drive vehicles in the US and I think China as well. They haven't come out here yet, but at this stage you've got the LFPs in the rear-wheel drive and the nickel metal in the MC in the long range. I know Cattle's got a few things on the works, and there's CATL, but I haven't seen anything to say that there definitely will be any sort of changes to the battery. Thanks, Hal. Definitely appreciate the support. It definitely helps the channel and helps me keep this content going. Really appreciate it. All right. Anyone else got any other final comments? Like I said, next week should be a good one. I'll confirm it during the week and try and get some social media posts out there to get the word out. But it should be good to have that discussion about the second-hand market and look at the amazing EV website with Roscoe. All right, guys. Yeah. Yeah, look, both have their pluses and minuses. The energy density in NMC is definitely much bigger than better than the LFP. So there is that, and the charge speed definitely is different. Even the acceleration, the amount of power you can get out of them for acceleration, the NMC definitely beats the LFP. I'm quite happy with the LFP myself. I don't see a big difference in either of them. It's really whatever use case is best for the person driving. But definitely, look, the Tesla batteries are really, really good, whichever way you go. All right, guys, thanks again. Great to see the engagement. We'll hopefully get that word out there for next week, and that'll probably be the last one for this year, unless something really big happens. We'll play that by ear, but I'd say we'll probably take a break for Christmas after next week's episode and come back on that first week of January. Hope everyone stays safe over the break if you don't see us next week. But drive safe, enjoy your EVs, and we'll chat again next week. Thanks, guys.